Thank you so much, Congressman Brady.
Chairman Maloney, let me congratulate you, too, on your leadership of the committee and Ranking Member Brownback as well, and we look forward to working with you on, obviously, an issue, number one priority in America, get the economy going again, so thank you. And I'd like to join you in welcoming Commissioner Hall, too, before the committee as well. You know, the data show that payroll employment fell by 598,000 jobs in January. The job losses were widespread, reflecting the deepening recession and economic hardship facing many families. The unemployment rate climbed to 7.6%, the highest since September of 1992. Clearly, there is little to be encouraged about in this report. Now, the question is, will the controversial stimulus bill going through Congress bring these jobs back? Unfortunately, the answer is no. We all want this stimulus to work, but it is slow and costly and too filled with pork to do the job, just as, unfortunately, many of the 8 stimulus packages that Congress has enacted since 1948, in which case what impact there was happened long after the recession, in fact, had completed. Between 2009 and 2019, the House bill would add $1.2 trillion of federal debt to the already large and growing burden of public debt on the economy. It would add a bill of $7,000 to every household in America over the next 10 years. Clearly, we, our children, our grandchildren will be paying for this spending spree for a very long time to come. And even before the stimulus bill was considered, the Congressional Budget Office warned that the budget deficit would balloon to a record $1.2 trillion again in this year alone. And to think of put in perspective, and what is alarming is the publicly held debt as a percent of our economy was projected to increase from 40.8% in 2008 to nearly 60% by 2011. It is a dangerous and alarming increase in our debt position. The real budget outlook is actually considerably worse because the CBO baseline doesn't include a number of items that will further enlarge the deficit. Trillions of dollars of federal bailouts also expose taxpayers. Furthermore, the looming retirement of the baby boom generation will cause entitlement spending to accelerate faster and faster in the next few years. The U.S. fiscal outlook is already undermining financial markets. As the Financial Times reported Thursday, the U.S. Treasury opened the floodgates of government bond issuance yesterday. The announcement came amid fears about growing U.S. government deficits and sent the yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note rising to 2.95%. The rise in yields has been pushing 30-year mortgage rates higher, complicating efforts by U.S. authorities to revive the economy. The key question, as Senator Brownback asked, is whether huge federal spending increases will actually work to stimulate the economy. As economist John Taylor noted in a recent paper presented at the annual American Economic Association meetings, quote, there is little empirical evidence that government spending is a way to end a recession or accelerate a recovery. It didn't work in Japan, and there is no reason to think it will work now in the United States. And part of the reason to doubt the effectiveness of stimulus spending is that taxpayers know that they will end up paying for the stimulus in higher future taxes and inflation, and will adjust accordingly now, undermining any stimulative effect. One study even found that it is thus possible for responses to expected future policies to exacerbate and prolong recessions. The prospect of borrowing over $1 trillion for questionable programs thrown together with little procedural deliberation is rightly given the American people pause. Even if job creation is assumed, and many don't, the cost per job has been estimated at nearly $275,000 a job, far above average taxpayer income. We do know one thing. There is an absolute certainty that at least the House-passed stimulus will increase deficits and debts by over $1 trillion, the equivalent of all the personal income taxes we gather in America each year. And there is little indication that it will do much to help the economy. President Obama has been impressive in his call for GOP ideas, and I've admired his choice to ask for that input. We have given him ideas that would double the amount of jobs we create at half the price by lowering marginal rates, by putting in pro-growth tax provisions, and moving toward a far I think, smarter and targeted stimulus than we have today. And I will close with this. To date, I think there has been a good, healthy debate on Capitol Hill. And again, I admire President Obama's call for good ideas from both parties. I am alarmed in recent days that the president's rhetoric is getting too partisan. We've had that for many years. I would gently remind everyone, to the president's own words, that no party and no one person has a monopoly on good ideas on Capitol Hill. Let's work together and find a bill that can actually move this economy back the direction we want. With that, I yield, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Casey.